Hello, my fickle friends and fiends, and welcome to your first lesson in proper pet care. My name is Isadora. Under no circumstances are you to call me Izzy or Dora. Isadora only, please. Thank you. Now, I will be your teacher, your guide, your mentor, as we travel through what it means to properly care for a human pet in order to bring them the highest satisfaction in life and make sure that they are happy and content in their place. Now, it is my duty, my obligation, my legal contractual requirement, if you will, to remind us all right now that a human pet is to be consensually acquired via a signed contract by both sides of the party, and if the human is not consenting, then that breaks about 2,672 of our organization laws, and the law will be brought upon you in swift justice. You will be subject to sun exposure at high noon, should your pet be anything but consenting. Now, with that out of the way, today's very exciting lesson as you might have guessed, from our lovely helper here. Today we will be going over all things human hair care and scalp care, because as we should all be aware, a living scalp is a much different environment than a dead one, and our human pets will have much different needs than we do as vampires. So, get cozy, get your pens and papers or quills and blood ink out should you wish, and we'll get started. So, first thing to discuss when it comes to human hair care. Brushing requirements. It is important to note that my current human hairstyle is of the wavy variety. Now, different hair types will have different brush requirements. I don't have all of the examples here today, but should you have a human pet that has a very tightly coiled, curly hair, you will want different materials. We can discuss that after class, but under no circumstances should you be attempting to brush out tightly coiled hair with one of these devices. Alright? Good. Good, good, good. So, for my particular human, I am going to stick to this brush, but I do want you to see that we do have some comb options as well. This would be more suited to a human that had very straight hair, or if you were just working out some finer tangles in the bottom, alright? This particular brush is meant for smoothing at the end. This is what will give it a lustrous sheen, so we don't want to start with this one. Now this one is best suited to the task at hand of removing tangles while effortlessly smoothing. It is important to discuss with your human what their hairbrushing requirements are. Should they wish to do it themselves, if they require daily brushings, if they would like for you to do it, if they're tender-headed, all of these are very important factors. But typically for a human with longer hair or even shorter hair, brushing is an important part of a maintenance cycle. You will simply take the ends of the hairbrush, and brush. You want to start at the bottom. We do not rake through it like we do our own hair, because while our hair is dead, the human hair is very much, well, technically the human hair is also dead, but the scalp is living. So we want to treat it delicately. We do not want to just yank the brush through as we do on our own hair. This will cause pain and general discomfort for your human should you attempt to just yank from the top down. The nerve endings are very, very sensitive on the top of the scalp still for your human. So we'll just gently brush from the bottom up. And the reason that we start with brushing is because in order to get to the next stages, we want to have hair that is easy to work with. We'll be discussing things like scalp massages, scalp treatments, hair care as far as washing goes. It's quite a tangle here. There we are. When you have a large tangle, just gently work the brush through it. No need to yank a lot, just gently run over the area a few times. It should make its way out. Your human should be able to tell you whether or not you were successful in getting it out all right. Now, as I was saying, we'll be discussing scalp treatments, hair care such as shampooing, shampoo requirements for your human, fun activities you can do with your human and their hair. A lot of this does vary. It does vary from human to human as far as preferences go, but by and large, these are the things you can expect with your pet, alright? Alright. Now, as I stated, the example I have here today is of the wavy hair variety. Have a chat with your human to see if their hair has specific needs or requirements. Some are oilier than others. Some have very dry hair. Some require certain treatments to be added. Some should not have treatments added. So on, so forth. You get the idea. Each human pet... Pardon me, my glasses. They keep falling off. Each human pet has their own unique needs. Just like we vampires do, it's not much different, except they are living and therefore are a little bit needier than us, but that is why we take care of them the way that we do. Yes, the poor things. The poor things. Alright. As I was saying, just have a conversation with your human about all their hair care needs and desires, and the two of you should get along just fine, alright? Good. If you ever have any questions, feel free to write me, just in case your human didn't take very good care of themselves back in their realm. Some of them are like that, you know. We do have rescues that didn't come from good enough means to really know how to properly care for themselves, which if you have a rescue, good on you. You know, we always say adopt, don't shop, but I'll be happy to assess each individual case as it comes in. I think that's good and brushed out. Why don't we move on to the next step? A quick thing worth noting before we move on to the next segment here. If your human does not in fact know what their hair care and scalp care requirements are, a very quick and easy way to find this information out is to do a quick little scalp check. Now, please handle the wooden stakes with the utmost of care. As you all know, we have had several stake-related accidents, and I would hate for you to be one of them. Alright, so you are just going to take your little rake here and get the hair all nicely separated down to the scalp. Let's set this aside. Going to take one of these. Just one of these is needed, and just gently kind of poke through a little bit and take a peek with my magnifying glass. Now I'm looking at the scalp to see if there's any redness, any irritation, any dandruff. Is it extremely oily? Is it extremely dry? Do I see any lice, heaven forbid? What other things do I see on the actual flesh of the scalp that might be of concern? You really want to get underneath the hair and not just be looking at the hair itself, alright? So just really get in there, poke around a bit. As with everything else, it is very important to openly communicate with your human as you do this. Make sure they are not suffering any discomfort in any way. Alright. Now you know how to do a scalp check. me put these back. I'm going to quickly smooth the hair back out for the next step. Now, depending on your human, the haircut requirements can vary greatly. For the straight to wavy humans such as this, the haircuts should probably occur anywhere between 3 to 6 months, depending on their preference. If they have a very short hairdo, you'll need to do it more frequently. If they have a tight, coily sort of hair, you'll need to do it less frequently, alright? Good, good. Some humans prefer their hair to be cut wet, others dry. Again, you will notice that, like most things, this is a conversation to have with your pet. You have your pet for companionship. You should talk to it and make sure that you're on the same page, alright? Good. Very, very good. Let me grab my scissors. This is not a step that is mandatory for you to do on your own, but some find it is a good bonding experience with their pet. Especially if they have an easy to care for pet. They just find, the cost savings of grooming your pet yourself versus taking it to a professional groomer is worthwhile. But I'll show you how to do a quick grooming. Other than that, you can decide if you wish to take it to pet groomers or not, alright? For this step, I am going to use the comb, and I'm just going to gently rake through the bottom here. Alright. Now I'm going to grab the ends of the hair, and you're going to look for some dead ends there. Sometimes humans get split ends, so you're just going to gently really look for those split ends and simply snip, snip, snip them off. Different humans will have different hairstyle preferences. It's important to take those into account. So again, just looking for those split ends. And snip, snip, snipping. Your human could want a blunt end, in which case you will cut the hair straight across like this, or your human could want a more tapered effect, in which you will cut the hair somewhat vertically against it to give it a much more layered, staggered effect, alright? And you're going to go through the hair in this way all around their head until the entire thing it's even and level. If you wish to be trained bit of a tangle there. To be trained on how to do layers, that is certainly something that I can do a lesson on at a later date. for now, we are just sticking with the basics. Alright. So like I said, just going around, taking off the dead ends. You get the idea. Alright? So, again, this is up for you and your human to decide if you wish to groom them yourself or take them to a professional groomer. Okay, lovely. Now, one quick and easy way you can bond with your human is via a nice little scalp massage. You can get devices like this, where there are silicone-based teeth. There are plenty of other implements you could try out. Just talk to your human, see what they prefer, or surprise them, depending on what you two are into. So you can just gently most humans find this to be a very, very, very relaxing task. Either strong or light pressure, depending on what they like. We all love a good head scratch every now and again, but for us vampires, a scalp massage of this degree would mean a lot of our hair falling out, since the scalp isn't a living thing. Your human's scalp is much more resilient than yours. It is important to remember that. Yes. A lot of times, something like this might even lull your human into a little slumber. It's very cute when they sleep like that. My sweet little human falls asleep every time. Yes. It is adorable. No, they don't sleep quite like we do they? No. We make just a nice little really getting into the scalp, nice little twisting and turning action. You're not trying to rough up the hair or anything. You're just trying to get those little silicone teeth into, or under the hair I should say, to really reach the scalp itself. And now these they actually have two uses. They could be scalp massagers, or they can be shampoo applicators. Yes, I'll show you that in a minute here. But first, let us discuss the variety of different shampoo types, alright? Yes, it's a very nuanced subject. Again, a lot of debate, a lot of conversation needs to be had around it, but it is well worth your time to do your research on what kind of shampoo your human needs. Human shampoos, they come in a variety of types and uses and smells, and I've got about 4 examples here that I'll show you today, alright? So first we're going to look at some specialty shampoos. We have something like this, which is a purple shampoo. This is going to be for your lighter coloured humans. If you have your lighter hair coloured humans, that is to say, if you have a human that has some white or some silver or some light blonde, a very nice purple shampoo like this will go a long way in reducing the brassiness of it. Because the last thing we would want is the blonde human becoming like an orange human, you know. Their hair is much different than ours. You know, our hair goes white because that part of our scalp dies. Their hair is usually either naturally blonde or they have put a great deal of effort into making it that color. So the maintenance on it is something that they're usually willing to put in the effort for. Yes. Then we have shampoos of this nature, which are a highly clarifying shampoo. This is a gelled clarifying shampoo. This is for a human that has a lot of product buildup on their scalp. You only use this about once a week to once every other week, depending on their needs. Some humans need it, some do not, but it's important to know this exists, alright? Again, talk to your human, see if they've ever used it before or require it. Some of your humans will require something like this, where it is a shine enhancing, overall very gentle kind of consistency and product. Sulfate free, some find that very important. So just kind of a good general baseline for a shampoo. This is not the one I'll be using today, I'll grab that one next. And for our final example, we have a refreshing scalp kind of shampoo with some tea tree and mint in it. It's going to give their nice little human scalp a good zippy pep to it. So this is something that, like with those little shampoo devices, would feel very nice on your human scalp. So it's a very good, just kind of a good pamper session for them, you know. So let me go ahead and I will wet our human's hair today, and then I will show you what it looks like to properly wash and care for the human scalp and do a nice little sudsy treatment, and then we'll have you go on your way, alright? Alright, good. So we're just going to take a little bitty bit in our palm, just a little bit. Doop. You see there? That amount is plenty for most humans, unless they have very, very thick hair. So just lather it up like so. It smells divine, and gently just start working it in. The trick is to get full coverage here. I really want to make sure that you get all the layers of the scalp, okay? All the layers of the hair to the scalp. You're just going to work it into a nice lather. Not being too rough with the scalp. You don't want to really dig your nails in. Our nails tend to be a bit sharper anyway than they're used to, so do be cautious of that. But what you're really aiming for is the pads of your fingers on their skin. A nice good scrub. going to re-wet it and put a little bit more on, just to show you those little tools earlier that I had. Alright. Let me get a towel first. This brush, or spray bottle, for whatever reason, there's a very delayed reaction to it. See, I spray it and then it just keeps going after the fact. It's a little difficult to use, but I'll have to look into that. We're going to put that one down. It's still going. Alright. You wouldn't normally need to re-wet like I am. This is just so I can show you that other device. Just work that in. One important thing to note before I forget. If you have a human with longer hair, the shampoo stays up here. It does not go into these ends, alright? You put conditioner only in the ends, okay? Conditioner goes from the ears down, shampoo goes from the ears up, okay? Good. Right, let me grab those. Alright. And these will help us get it to a nice lather. And this will just really help to get it nice and salty. Now, once you are done with the lathering stage, you will thoroughly rinse your human's hair out. Making sure to not leave any soap, shampoo residue behind. Some humans prefer to towel dry their hair, others would prefer a blow dryer. It's up to you guys. Whatever you and your pet wish to do, that is fine. Now, I'm going to just keep working this in. You can stay and watch, or you can be on your way as that concludes our lesson and is all the time we have for today. Alright. It was an absolute delight to have you on with me today. And I very much look forward to our next lesson in proper pet care. Take care now, everyone. Your homework for this week is to give your human a nice little scalp massage, okay? Alright.